Live and Live. Buy original, be original. SON.
Your substandard and fake products have no market in our country. Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Boloma, tells unscrupulous importers as Nigerians express satisfaction at government's renewed strategies at tackling substandard goods and supporting businesses, especially small and medium enterprises, SMEs, to grow. You are watching Standard and You, powered by the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the SON. It comes to you at 6:30 p.m. on Mondays on this station. My name is Ifoma Okonkwo. I'll be back after this message.
As we speak, we still consider lubricants as life-threatening because it's the life wire of our movement, of our industrialization, of our economy. Anything that threatens the blood that these things use in running. And if we take it lightly, we're all going to be doomed together. And I sincerely beg that I won't be part of such a process.
Why you dey buy fake product, make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live. Buy original. You should know where to go. The SON. Don't touch, don't touch.
It's fake.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It's bad.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It hurts.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It destroys.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It kills.
You should know where to go. The SON.
Standards Organization of Nigeria. Improving lives through standards.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for being a part of our program, Standard and You. Since the beginning of the year, our set light on the program has been on our activities as an agency of government the past year. We focused on our efforts at measures to check the distribution of substandard products, standards development, sensitization, and human capital market development. Standard and You felt the pulse of Nigerians on the streets and manufacturers on the impact of the SON's activities on the economy in 2018. Please take a look.
The prevalence of substandard and fake products in the country and how to check the distribution of such products have remained a source of worry for government over the years. This is because of the negative impact of these products on the economy, especially the nation's industrial sector. No doubt, government, through the Standards Organization of Nigeria, has committed millions of naira to developing strategies to tackle the menace of these products in Nigeria. Some of these strategies by the SON include, but not limited to, nationwide stakeholder sensitization on the dangers of substandard products, development and deployment of quality infrastructure to determine and destroy substandard products, build capacity to support local manufacturers to facilitate the nation's industrial growth, and finally, promote standardization and quality assurance in all sectors of the Nigerian economy in line with government's objective on the ease of doing business.
A lot of these enforcement activities have been carried out on tires, gas cylinders, lubricants, even hair, I think cement, rice, unfortified sugar, and so far so good. There is more awareness in the domain now. People are getting to understand that yes, if you see anything unwholesome, you can call on SON, and SON will actually go all out and see to it that the right thing has been done. Most of the importers have realized the reason for enforcing this SON cap requirement, which actually comes to show that you cannot bring in anything into the country without an IAF, that's independent accreditation firms, certifying that that product is actually in conformity with Nigerian standards. So there is the compliance level had increased, and in most cases when compliance level has been increased, then there will be reduction in enforcement. So that's why we're embarking more on enlightenment campaigns as well. 2019, now with with awareness being created more, SON is looking at, okay, opening new chapters, looking at, okay, how to collaborate more with sister agencies and creating more awareness as well with the Manufacturers Association, with the importers, as well as other regulatory agencies like NAFDAC, Customs, and even the CPC, that's the Consumer Protection Council.
As one of the achievements of this present administration, the Director General, Standards Organization of Nigeria, Mr. Aboloma Osita, Esquire, announced that with effect from November, that product registration will no longer be a reason for delaying your container at any port of entry in Nigeria, which means that you will be allowed to bring in the product without being asked whether you have registered it or not. But it is expected that once you have brought in the product, that you will register the product before you begin to sell. Because product registration is actually not done outside the shores of this country. It's done in Nigeria. It's not a requirement for you bringing in your product. It was only being used as a deterrent to make people register. In order not to lead to congestion, and because of the executive order of this present administration, there was the need to ease the way we do business. And so one of the things this DG has done is to look at the areas where there are hiccups, there are delays in the way business is being done by SON, and remove those delays. And one of it was using product registration as a reason for delaying containers or delaying products. So that has been abolished. But product registration as an activity remains. It was not abolished. It is expected that when you bring in your product into this country, you will be allowed to enter with your SUNCAP certificate or your product certificate. But thereafter, before you begin to sell, you are expected to register your product. So it remains illegal for you to sell or distribute an unregistered product in the Nigerian market. We've been able to bring the people closer to SON. They are more friendly, more acceptable to us now, and the work is even going faster and better now. Product registration now is something that a larger percentage of the people that we have met have come to have a better understanding of it, and so they are very, very cooperative.
But most often than not, we find out that because the courses that we offer are basically those to do with international standards, so we have majority of our clients in the private sector. However, of recent, because of the push of the new management of SON, we're able to break through into the public sector, and we offer courses that are actually very important to the public sector, especially those courses that will enable them put structures in place so that they operate as institutions. Whether you are there or not, the activities go on, so that even as people evolve out of the system or come into the system, they will find out that there's already structured practices and systems that they will walk through, and it will be seamless. Two things. The first one is even the fact that by virtue of our act, that we were expected to actually offer such as services as training in international standards, in the country, to build national competence based on those international standards. And this had gone on for quite a number of years, actually from 1993. Some of us were here as the pioneer staff at that time. And then, however, we saw the need to actually become globally accepted sometime with this current management. That was in 2017. And fortunately for us, there was a program that was ongoing, the National Quality Infrastructure Program, which needed support so that a lot of other organizations should be able to get international certification. And based on that, of course, training is where we are able to provide for them that knowledge for them to carry out those activities in line with international standards. Okay, and that's actually the trainings that we offer.
Standard and You took to the streets to feel the pulse of Nigerians on the impact of the activities of the SON and their expectations from the government agency in the new year.
Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, has been doing their best possible to make sure that we have standardized products in our market, here in Alaba International Market. At least for some time now, we have good quality products. And SON has made it so easy that you can even register your product, even right inside your toilet. Once you have your phone with you, your Android phone with you, just go to the internet, browse the website of SON, and there you will register your product. In fact, SON has made it so easy that wherever you find yourself, SON is accessible. When I talk about SON, what do I mean? I'm talking about Standard Organization of Nigeria. No longer going to Lekki, no longer going to Abuja, or at Apapa, but here in Alaba, we are accessible. We can reach them at any time. What I want SON to do in 2019 is this, that they help us to push out those that are bringing in low quality material into the market, thereby making us that are bringing in high quality and standard material not to sell. So if SON can go to this extent, I want to tell you that sky will be our limit.
I know is they are trying in terms of when they go to Benin Republic. I have seen that's the border. I have seen them working in terms of trying to stop contraband goods from entering Nigeria. They should go to some supermarket because some supermarkets secretly sell things that are substandard, and sometimes they even sell expired products. So if they can go as far as maybe from time to time, you know, just visit them and see the kind of products they sell.
Yeah, to checkmate the goods that are coming into Nigeria and the goods that are made in Nigeria too. I think that will be better in 2019. And two, I think they should make themselves known. Most people just know of SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria. Some people don't know what they are really into, what they are doing. I think you understand. So they should make themselves known. I think do more of adverts, you know, take it to the grassroots from secondary school, university, down to the layman on the road, the drivers and the market women. I think it will be better.
They are trying their best. You know, Nigeria public, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy to conquer everywhere, but they are trying their best. It's not easy. I expect them to do better because the situation of the country now, a lot of fake products are out there. A lot of fake products. They have to work more, and I wish them all the best.
As a Standard Organization of Nigeria, you know, they are under the ministry, the department and agency or federal government agency. They should seek more collaboration with their sister agency. These are the certain organizations that can be able to collaborate together so that they can be able to achieve their aim. They cannot do it alone. They can't do it alone. When we are talking of Standard Organization of Nigeria, of our products, both within and outside, they must play a prominent role, collaborating with the sister organization.
I want them to be effective more than before, so that also we can be seeing, you know, their effectiveness in areas in where they are expected. Yeah, we are expecting them to come up, so that we can have a standard something in our nation here.
They are really trying. You know, the program, the sensitization and everything is encouraging. They are really performing. In 2019, I expect them at least to get to 85%, you know, trying to make sure that the issue of faking is eradicated. It's very, very important. But the essence of SON is to checkmate fake products and also to curtail the influx of fake products, so that at least people who have good products can at least enjoy the goodwill they've created over the years.
For operators of the nation's industrial sector, especially owners of small businesses known as SMEs, government support through the SON to grow their businesses has never been so good as demonstrated in the last 3 years, especially in 2018.
Standards Organization of Nigeria has been very supportive of the manufacturing sector. In 2018, there was a lot of collaboration, extensive collaboration, consultation between the Standard Organization of Nigeria and the Nigerian manufacturers. And that has gone a long way in shaping the strategy of intervention by SON, and it has also helped to facilitate the effectiveness of the role of SON in regulating standards and in also curbing the activities of substandard products, either produced domestically or imported. So the relationship between the stakeholders and the SON have been quite great. And the Standards Organization of Nigeria has also played a very important role in advancing the ease of doing business agenda of the federal government. Many SMEs are finding it much better to relate with the SON than what used to be the case. The conditions are a bit more SME friendly. There are better consideration for SMEs in terms of some requirements, also in terms of the fees that are being charged. So the involvement in the SON has helped to contribute a great deal to the ease of doing business that the federal government has been very particular about in 2018. So the 2018 has been a good year in terms of relationship between SON and the manufacturing sector. However, we hope that in 2019, more support will be given to SON to scale up its capacity to be able to do even more, because we are talking about a country of 200 million people. We are talking of a country that requires a lot of oversight in what people do and in what people also bring in. So the capacity of the SON needs to be scaled up to match the challenges that we face as a country in the area of enforcing standards and ensuring compliance. The role of SON, the funding in 2019 should be much better so that they can also support the economy better, they can support businesses better in order to reduce the menace of substandard products, either being produced locally or that are being imported into the country.
SON recognizes the increasing need to tackle the menace of fake products despite the strides made by the agency in that regard. The Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Aboloma, Esquire, has emphatically made it clear that the SON is committed to the protection of Nigerians and local manufacturers. He told Standard & You in an exclusive interview in Lagos that the agency will focus more on the development and deployment of modern technology in its fight against substandard products. He said, and I quote, "We will continue to explore and embrace innovative means to force unscrupulous businessmen who flood our markets with substandard and fake products out of business." End of quote.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, brings a new lease of life to Nigeria SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards to improve made-in-Nigeria products for export. We have developed more standards for products like sesame, cocoa, gari, and more, courtesy of our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turned around time for SUNCAP, MANCAP, and other certification processes. SON has intensified market surveillance, raids, and seizures to reduce substandard products in circulation, and offenders shall be prosecuted. Join SON in ridding our nation of substandard products. If you see something, say something. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Aboloma, Esquire, has assured producers and dealers on shea butter as well as garment makers of the agency's support to grow their businesses. The SON boss gave this assurance in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, at the launch of a shared facilities for micro, small and medium enterprises. His advice was contained in a paper presentation at a training session on food safety and regulation. Aboloma wants farmers to work with regulatory agencies to achieve the desired level of growth in the sector. Substandard products with a street value of about 8 million naira have been destroyed by the Standards Organization of Nigeria in Kano State. The destroyed items include 83 bags of 25 kg expired foreign rice, 250 bags of substandard mosquito coils, 150 cartons of Dorco shaving stick, substandard electric cable and brake fluid. Director General of the agency, Osita Boloma, who expressed deep concern over the continued importation of these products into the country, told Standard & You that SON will continue to comb markets across the country to remove these dangerous products from the shelves. You're still watching your favorite program, Standard & You. Feedback is next. Alimot Osifo is our guide.
Choose live and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
Hello and nice to have you on the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. Have you heard of life-endangering products? Yes, life-endangering products. Today, liquefied petroleum gas, LPG cylinder, is used in many Nigerian homes. But did you know fake and expired LPG cylinder plus poor handling have led to cylinder explosions, leading to loss of lives or causing severe burns? Behind every wall at home, in an office or a building in general, there are cables that channel electricity for daily consumption. If these electrical cables are not of good quality, it could result in a domestic fire outbreak, posing great danger to lives and property. Just as poor brake pads could place you and your passengers in danger, the campaign against fairly used, substandard and expired tires is significant to the prevention of road accidents, which is life-threatening. Now, imagine what happens when substandard steel bars are used in building construction. Building collapse, which can be disastrous. LPG cylinder, electrical cable, brake fluids and pads, tires, steel bars, solar panel, stabilizer, and more products have been classified as life-endangering products. Life-endangering products are high-risk products. They are products which pose a great safety risk to consumers because of their nature. Standards Organization of Nigeria recognizes the need to stay safe. Hence, the agency will stop at nothing in protecting Nigerians from fake and substandard products, and also life-endangering products. Musa Rekia says, please help, I need to register my products. Okay, Musa, for information about product registration, please check our official website at www.son.gov.ng, where you find an online registration portal. You'll know what to do when you check the website. Ogbonna from Abia says, God bless you for the information you passed through the program. Thank you, Ogbonna. It's our pleasure. Michael Ugoji says, I would advise your enforcement team to quickly move into the markets across the nation to ensure that they fish out adulterated oils. All right, Michael, we're on top of that to ensure that we do not have adulterated lubricants in our markets. Innocent Ibokwe from Kaduna says, I commend the efforts of the SON to eradicate substandard items in our country. Thank you so much, Innocent. It's our pleasure. And that's the much we can take on the feedback segment of the program. For any question, complaints, or suggestion, you can send in your messages to the number 0705-972-4455. Follow us on any of our social media platforms, on Facebook at Standard & You, Instagram and Twitter at Standard & You_. Remember, we have previous episodes online at youtube.com/Standard & You. Don't just view, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks and enjoy the rest of the week.
Why you dey buy fake product, make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live,